and obviously you look at this team, and there's a lot of seniors, but you lost a good player. What do you look at going into the season from these guys?
Well, I appreciate the question, and I would concur with what you concurred with me after I concurred with you, that each team is different, and we are missing arguably the finest defensive forward that I've ever been around. And he covered up a multitude of sins that we committed defensively. He was always ready to go, and he was the same guy every day too. Same guy every game, same guy every practice.
So you never had to worry about what you were getting from that.
And he didn't care about scoring. He just did everything you needed a really solid player to do. So we're missing that piece. That being said, that happens to you every year. So now you gotta pick up the pieces and move on. And now we're going to be different. Can we score a little bit better than last year's team? Maybe we can. We have a bunch of guys who can score, whether it's Ramon or Juan or Khalif. And, we're going to need some scoring up front. We'll need Mike Eric to help us that way. So we're still a work in progress. But Scoot we're missing his fearlessness. We're missing his voice defensively. And so I'm anxious for him to start running and seeing what he's going to be able to give to us. So.
Is there a time frame on when you make them?
Yeah, I'd say it's another couple of weeks before he's going to run at full speed. So I think once that hits, then hopefully have him back in not too long a period of time.
You mentioned about your guard combinations, and they'll probably be doing the bulk of the scoring. How good can they be with Fernandez, Ramon, and Khalif?
I think they can be very good, but there's an ingredient in there that I think they all have to think about, and that's not worry about who gets the final basket. I think they're all three of them, I think, like to give it up and like assisting as much as they like scoring, and I think that's something we're really going to have to keep in our mind as we go about the season. That, yeah, they are our best scorers, but they also are our best playmakers as well, so they have to do both.
Will that be easier for them this year, Fran? Because even like in that Penn State game, Ramon hit so many big shots, and Juan hits the last one. He had a lot of different leading scorers last year. Is that easier for them to kind of soak up because it's how things have maybe been in the past?
I might just go back to it again, John, to tell you that each team is different, so they're going to have to figure that out. A lot on their own, and obviously I'll be there fussing and cussing and yelling and screaming about it, but they're going to have to figure that out as to who's going to be able to score. In some games, some guys like Ramon, there were a couple of games that just absolutely carried us, to include Penn State for that big stretch in the second half, to include Georgetown at home. I mean, we're not beating Georgetown without Ramon going crazy, so we're not beating Villanova a couple of years ago without Juan going crazy. So they all have that ingredient in them, and then the other guys have to feel and say, you know what, maybe not my day, it's Ramon's day or Juan's day or Khalif's day.
Fran, what have you seen from your big guys so far?
Yeah, I think Mike whenever we stat every practice, and his defensive rebounding has been very good each and every practice. Raulier's been pretty consistent. We need him to score a little bit more. We need him to shoot mid-range jump shots more. I would say Anthony Lee is a kid that we really need, and his two scrimmages have been good. We scrimmaged Drexel, scrimmaged Penn State, and he's done well. He's really quick off his feet, but we need him 20 to 25 minutes a game, so hopefully he's going to be able to give us that because he's in good health, and he's got a pretty good knack for rebounding and for scoring inside.
You said each team is different, but the guys that are coming back, after what they were able to accomplish last year, do you see them coming back now as being able to build on what they've accomplished?
I do. And I think they got a taste of how much fun it is to be in the NCAA tournament. And we obviously won a game last year, and that's not a whole lot more fun to be had than that. But just getting there is such an incredible challenge that I think they understand how tough each and every game is going to be. So we have a great opportunity, and yet know how much hard work is involved in this.
And when was the last time you had 4 senior stars? Was that when Scoot comes back?
Yeah, I don't know if we had it here at Temple. Certainly at Penn, I had it a couple of times. If you're in it long enough, you get that opportunity. Some years you don't have it. Many years in a row, you don't have it. But if you're getting the right combination of each, life would be great if you had 12 kids on your team and you had 3 seniors, 3 juniors, 3 sophomores, 3 freshmen. It'd be great, but that's not how life works. And the way although we have college athletics today.
Does it make it easier to coach Fran when you have older guys, only because they're familiar with you and what you want to get done?
I don't think so. I think there's good parts and bad parts there. They don't need me yelling at them anymore. Like I even said it to Raleigh. He takes all the fun out of me fussing and cussing because he tells you how sorry he is right after he makes a mistake. What are you telling me that for? I get a lot of fun yelling and screaming. It cleanses me spiritually, and you're taking that fun away. So, I think you get a feel who's really needs to a little kick in the butt, and you get a feel for who needs the arm around them, and we got to work a little bit harder.
I mean, when they're on the court, like,
yeah, I mean,
is it a little bit easier, like end game situations, because you have guys who are experienced?
Yeah, I think so, and you give them that opportunity to figure it out on their own. And I think that's part of what coaching is all about, to let them leave them to their own devices at some point. And when you have seniors, they've been around. So if any of these guys comes to me and says, this is what we want to do on offense, for example, that's what we'll do. And I'm not overly concerned about what we do. I'm very concerned with how we do it.
How's Aaron Brown booked? I mean, you might have had to play a little bit more last year because of the injuries you had. What did you see out of him over the summer?
Yeah, he's playing well. He's got to be really consistent. We need him to shoot the ball. That's what he does best, and spot up three-point jump shooters is what we need him to do. Has to be consistent. And then one of the things I fuss with him about all the time, he can't be a good defender. He must be a great defender. He's got to really have it.
And then almost win another game. I mean, almost get to that second weekend. How much hungrier does that make you guys to say, hey, yeah, that was a good thing. We want to get some more of that.
Well, it feels good. It's just like when you get a taste of something that feels good, you want more. And that's how we feel right now. I can tell you personally, my first year I had no idea what was going on. I just came and played. And now I know what all this means to the university, to the coaches, to my teammates, and knowing that this is the last chance we got to do something big. We definitely want to do that at the end of the year.
With a better understanding, though, does that increase your confidence level of what you can do on the floor and what the team can do?
Yeah, well, yeah, confidence is always there. We're always confident in ourselves and our teammates. I think what changes is the knowledge and the way you approach the games. Now, you really understand what you're playing for. You really know what you're getting if you get a win, and it feels good. And I can't even imagine what would it be to be on like a Sweet 16, Elite 8, or something like that. And that's definitely what we want. Not getting ahead of myself.
You went down with the injury last year. You watched Lavoie for the second half of the season sort of play the role as the lone big man. What did you learn from that experience that's going to allow you to play aggressive defense but still be responsible in terms of not getting in foul trouble?
I learned a lot. It's just more of just being at the right spots at the right time, positioning myself. And I think Lavoie did that at all 4 years, and I'm starting to learn that every day. Just being in the right position, in the right time, and Lavoie did that. And I think if I can do that this year, we'll be in very good shape. I'm pretty much 100% right now, and I'm lucky to get this opportunity again.
What are your thoughts on who you guys are going to be playing this year? I like having a tough schedule. Tough out-of-conference schedule always prepares us for the conference play and postseason play. And so, playing Duke at Wells Fargo would be awesome. Going down to Texas, playing at Texas would be a great experience. And it's just kind of just building to the final product. So we're in prime shape by March, and by Atlantic 10 to play.
Have an off-season to get better as a player, just sort of rehabbing. How frustrating?
It's very frustrating, but I got to look at it as it's my future, so I got to be 100% before I come back. But I also got to be a leader and maintain my role within the team with those guys. So I think without those guys, I probably would be in a difficult situation. But with those guys, they kept me up.
What have you been able to work on through the rehabilitation?
Basically, I've just been able to try to, I've just been lifting and trying to get my flexibility back, and I started shooting not too long ago. So.
Great, thanks.
That league did a lot for me. That was the first time I was able to play, a road game, aside from practicing with the team. It got my confidence back, and I was able to show forth some good things against D1 players, as far as players I was in the Big Ten, as far as Iowa and Tennessee and other big name schools that was in that tournament. And it just helped me a lot to get back in conditioning.